Hello and welcome to another Murders at Karlov Manor draft. Still ranked number 2. We are coming off a 6-3 finish, so we're still climbing here. We're still climbing and we're hoping to get one step closer to rank 1. And I don't, like I said, I don't know what the lead is, but we're having some decent finishes, so hopefully we can get it done here. Now, before this draft starts, if you have been enjoying this content on my road to rank 1, I did launch my Patreon channel. Shout out to all the current patrons. Thank you so much for your support. The link is in the description below. All right. It's time for a bomb. I keep asking, but I feel like now is the time, right? Now is seriously the time. But if not this time, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow is the right time. But as is, we have a pack here with 17 uncommons. Well, no, 5 uncommons. Officious Interrogation, which I really haven't been able to play with too much. It seems okay, but blue-white is not the color combination I necessarily prefer to be in. I liked it at the way beginning of the set, but right now I don't. Speaking of which, I am thinking of making a different video once kind of this road to rank 1 finishes, which is kind of a reactionary video to my first couple of drafts when I started out Bronze 4. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I think I'm going to do that while we have a little bit of free time before OTJ, and then we're going to move straight into the set review time for OTJ, which I'm going to try to do for the upcoming set. Here, I'm going to take Gleaming Geardrake over Projector Inspector. I think the Projector Inspector leaves you a little more open, but I believe Gleaming Geardrake is now the best uncommon in the set, or way up there, and I do like drafting blue-red. So I'm going to take the Geardrake here and see what's available, and boom! Lamplight Phoenix. I have no idea why on earth you would pass this card. There's another rare in this pack, 4 uncommons. I cannot figure out the print runs anymore. But this is a very, very good creature. Double red, yes, I know is difficult, but a lot of good uncommons here. Runebrand Juggler, Tin Street Gossip are fine. Cold Case Cracker and Nervous Gardener are the other cards to look at along with the land. I think I would probably look at Nervous Gardener as potentially the best card in this pack, but obviously with a Gleaming Geardrake, happy enough slamming the Lamplight Phoenix, and if possible, trying to skew our mana base towards red seems like a pretty good thing to do given the start that we have right now. Moving on here, we have Fuss Bother. Pretty easy pickup here. That's another Nervous Gardener that we're passing, but Fuss Bother is just great in blue-red. The fact that anytime you're playing a deck, if you're either just white base, so you can play both halves of this card, or blue-red specifically, those are the color combinations where this card's really, really awesome. Blue-white, red-white, any of the Jeskai colors, really. Other than, I guess, no. All of them work. My brain just stopped working for a second. Anyways, we're going to take Fuss Bother here. Just a really great card to pick up. Even if we don't end up in blue necessarily, I mean, given that we took the Phoenix, happy enough taking the Bother, we could pivot into red-white if possible. I am noting that Harry Dronesmith is in this pack, but I do not think it is better than Fuss Bother. And what on earth is this? There is a Neighborhood Guardian, Case of the Gateway Express, Market Watch Phantom, and Shock. I am taking a white card out of this pack. I just don't know which one it is. Is it Neighborhood Guardian, or is it Case of the Gateway Express? Man, I mean, they're really close. They're really close. I like the Unicorn, though. I'm a sucker for the Unicorn. I think they're both fantastic, to be fair. And according to, on 17 lands, I mean, they're 0.4% off. But I just like having the 2-mana creature always early. I would say that the power level of the two is very, very similar. But especially early on in a draft, I would much rather have the creature than the really powerful spell, just because of how important it is to carve out with these red-white decks. Moving on here, we have Granite Witness and Sanitation Automaton. Sanitation Automaton is just okay. I think I'm going to take Granite Witness out of this pack. I'm still not necessarily closing the door on blue-red, but given how deep that last pack was with the white cards in the Neighborhood Guardian, plus the Case of the Gateway Express, I mean, it just feels like white could be open, but Granite Witness, even in blue-red or red-white, is pretty decent, so we'll go ahead and take it here and figure out what the rest of the packs give us. And moving on here, we have Bubble Smuggler, Sanitation Automaton, and No More Lies. Blue-white is the color combination I like the least, and we got the Lamplight Phoenix passed to us. so I'm not that interested in No More Lies. So it's between Bubble Smuggler and Sanitation Automaton, and given that we're not sure that we're going to be in blue, I'm just going to take the Automaton here. There is a late Topiary Panther too, but let's just take the 2-drop for this deck. And wow, okay, that's a late Person of Interest. People still do not respect this card. This card is great. Some combination of blue and red or white. I'm still trying to figure that out. But Person of Interest is miles better than the other cards other than Sumala Sentry. But of course, we haven't really been looking to go into green. So I'm going to slam the Person of Interest here and at least solidify ourselves into red and figure out what our second color is going to be. It could still very easily be blue-red, even though there was that weird pack with the Neighborhood Guardian. The Gleaming Gear Drake is about as strong on power level as a Guardian, if not better. And now I'm going to take Gadget Technician because, again, this is a card that's good in red-white and also blue-red. So we are kind of leaving ourselves maximally flexible. The 2-drop in this pack tabled, which is really surprising. Really happy to table the Seasoned Consultant. So it's kind of split here, right? We're definitely red. We could be blue or we could be white. We will kind of let the packs help us decide where we need to be. All right, I feel like it needs to be white. And I do feel like the first copy of On the Job is pretty important over something like a Museum Nightwatch. I do like Nightwatch, but I'm really happy having both On the Job and Fuss Bother here as a way to start this draft. And then now moving forward, I can take other face-down creatures if I need. And there's a Felonious Rage, which also is just a card I don't mind in my Boros aggressive deck. So this is a really, really good start here. Hopefully I don't have to play the Automaton and I can just play other 2-drops instead. But this is looking like a very, very good start. Now we have the choice between Novice Inspector and the Lightning Helix. There's also a Tolsimir. But I don't think we're going to do Tolsimir. Typically your red-white decks don't really want to splash. Wow. I just realized we opened Massacre Girl and Tolsimir. We needed to open this pack 1 so we could have had more direction. Anyways, I think I'm going to take the Lightning Helix here over the Novice Inspector. I do love me a Novice Inspector, but I think Lightning Helix is just probably the best removal spell in the set. One of the best. This card is just incredible. The big thing here, too, that you can't take for granted is the fact that this goes to the face. And that is very, very relevant. Here, there's a Sanitation Automaton that I could take if I really wanted a 2. I think there's plenty of other 2-mana 2/1s that I can take in this spot. So it's either that or the Haas the Vigilante. I'm just going to take a Haas the Vigilante here. I don't really want to start my draft with double Sanitation Automaton. There's also Bulrak Clan Basher. Actually, maybe I just take that. That actually does have a reasonable win rate here in Boros, so I want to give that a shot. It is a face-down creature. Oh, and we're going to slam Inside Source here. Museum Nightwatch is also okay, but this is great in a deck that's looking to play Neighborhood Guardian. Neighborhood Guardian into Inside Source or Person of Interest is both really, really strong. So really like kind of where we're at right now. We have 3 different cards that help us make tokens, which is great with the Neighborhood Guardian. We have Fuss and also On the Job, so we have a couple of good go-wide spells. Could obviously always use more 2s. And actually, with our spells, I'm feeling pretty good about where we are with our spells here, actually. Here we have the choice between Meddling Youths and Auspicious Arrival. I think I'm pretty good on tricks. The Felonious Rage is also quite good. And I know Auspicious Arrival is also pretty good, but I think they're close enough where I just want to take the big Boros creature here, just to have at the top of my curve. Like, we don't have any offenders at large or anything like that. Ooh, and another Person of Interest. Late Nervous Gardener here and a Gadget Technician, but slamming Person of Interest in this pack. This makes it so that turn 4 Person of Interest into Meddling Youth just means that we'll be able to draw a card, which is awesome. And now, with 15 cards in, I'm going to prioritize the cheap cards. So we're looking at Market Watch Phantom, Reckless Detective, Red Herring. Cards of that nature is what I'm going to be looking at. Novice Inspector. Or absolutely nothing. This is pretty weak. I guess I can look at my blue cards. I mean, I only have the Gleaming Gear Drake here. This is just in case we end up having to go red-blue. Doesn't look like a case of the Filch Falcon deck. Maybe I'll just take a 2-drop here in the Bubble Smuggler. In case we somehow end up going down that path, although I don't foresee it. Oh, Shock tabled? Yes, please. Yes, please. We have a Shock. a Felonious Rage, a couple of combat tricks. So things are looking very, very decent for us. And like I said, we are going to put extra emphasis on the 2 mana cards and slamming Red Herring over Gadget Technician here. Exactly what this type of deck wants. Not gonna lie, wouldn't mind picking up like an Escape Tunnel. Lamplight Phoenix is kind of difficult to cast. So having like an 8-8-1 split of Escape Tunnel and 8 Plains, 8 Mountains would be nice. Here, I'll take another Gadget Technician here. Just more ways to go wide. And the Vigilante that we almost took before tabled. So we're going to end up with more than enough playables here. And it's really just all about shoring up kind of our 2 mana situation. Wow, Cold Case Cracker, Snarling, 3 like playable cards left in the pack. That's pretty wild. I don't really like the Concealed Weapon. I'm just saying, I'm noting that it is playable, but something that I'm probably not going to play. Cards on the right here are kind of the cards in my maybe stack. Wow. A Last Pick Bubble Smuggler. That you don't see all the time. But I think I still just want to be white. I have the Neighborhood Guardian with the Inside Source, with Fuss Bother and Lightning Helix. I mean, specifically the Lightning Helix too. So I'm happy enough just staying red-white here. There is an Alquist if we wanted to maybe splash blue, or Surveillance Monitor if we're blue-red. But like I said before, this pack is all about prioritizing 2 mana cards. So I am not against first picking a Red Herring out of that pack. Moving on here, I don't mind. Ooh, that's a Hunted Bone Brute. We saw I was able to do some dish out some beatdowns with this card in another draft. I'm going to take Auspicious Arrival here. I think we could use another trick, and I don't think I care too much for a 3rd copy of Gadget Technician, especially in a deck that can't really play it face up. So let's go ahead and take the Auspicious Arrival out of that pack. And now we have this pack. This pack is, again, quite weak. There's a lot of good green here in Bite Down on Crime, Glint Weaver, and Evidence Examiner, but we are just too far away from being able to do anything like that. I guess I'll just take another copy of On the Job. It's just the most likely card to make our deck. And of course, there's a pack with Gleaming Geardrake and Detective Satchel. Oh my. But there's also a couple of good white cards here as well. Man. What could have been? What could have been? All right, well, as much as I love Inside Source, and I do think the card is fantastic, I think it's more important for us right now to just continue picking up 2-drops. So, like I said, I think Inside Source is a better card, but for our deck right now, I think the Market Watch Phantom is just more important to draft. So we're going to take it here. Probably playing the Sanitation Automaton as well. Don't need to play the Vigilante. I think the Meddling Youths is generally better. And, ooh. We have 6/2s. You know me and my obsession with Person of Interest. I simply do not pass this card, so I'm going to take another one. It's just so. We have double On the Job Fuss Bother. We have Neighborhood Guardian, Seasoned Consultant. You just got to take all of these. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells, and these creatures. I mean, I'm pretty set here. I'm happy with this configuration. Do I want Innocent Bystander? I'll just take it in case I need another 2. I don't think I want Gadget Technician number 3. Take the Lamasu here, although not really interested in playing it. Here, wow, look at these combat tricks tabling. This was a really weird draft. Just going to take the rare out of that pack. Just saw a lot of really powerful cards kind of go around the table. I think I can cut the Felonious Rage. I prefer Auspicious Arrival in general. Just the fact that they cantrip. So this gives us a lot of combat tricks, right? Double Auspicious Arrival, double On the Job. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then everything else is going to be a creature here. So we just got to figure out what our last cut's going to be. Probably going to be one of these 2s. It's going to be one of these, I think. I like these other face-down cards well enough. Especially Bullrat Clan Bash. Oh my gosh. Detective Satchel with 2 cards left is insanity. Don't really need any hustle bustle in this deck. Well, I think this is more or less our deck. I think we could have ended up with a very good blue-red deck as well, but not too upset with what we have here. Let's take a look at our colors. Definitely more red than white, and then the double red here as well. And we just need to cut one card from the deck. These are the face down cards. And these are our tricks. 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm going to just cut a 2 here. Probably the innocent bystander over the automaton. And just give it a go. Let's give that a whirl. We have 6 2-mana creatures along with a shock and a lightning helix. I do like all my face down creatures as well. I don't know exactly the math. Maybe I want a 7th 2-drop. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. I need some Frank Karsten math. How many 2-drops do you need in your deck before you have like a 90% shot at playing a 2-drop on turn 2 on the play? Something like that. All right, Perimeter. Okay, so our opponent has a great deck as well. Novice Inspector into Perimeter Enforcer. I'm actually going to go ahead and just shock the Perimeter Enforcer here. Because it's just going to gain them a bunch of life. And we get to still double spell here. Like, I'm not really interested in my opponent gaining life. All right, Projector Inspector. Not bad. Could play Inside Source here, which seems pretty good. I can double pump, so I can double pump the Neighborhood Guardian, but then they would have, if they double block, it kills the Guardian. Alternatively, I can play, oh, never mind. I just realized something. We can play, if we play Red Herring, we can attack with everything, but I don't know that I want to trade the Neighborhood Guardian for Projector Inspector. So, if I play the Inside Source here and double pump Seasoned Consultant, that's a guaranteed 3 points of damage, and they can't kill the creature. So let's just go ahead and do that. And we're setting up nicely here. We're getting a pretty good board. We have Fuss Bother plus double on the job, and our board is looking very, very nice. All right, they have 1 green up. They're probably not attacking us. So now we have to decide what we want to do here. I mean, they could have a combat trick here, but I think this is kind of one of those situations where we just pump everything and send in everybody. Like that includes Inside Source. We can play Granite Witness face down as well. And this just kind of pumps everything. And the card that I want to do the most damage with, I think, is the Inside Source. So let's just put an extra counter here. And yeah, let's attack with everything. Everything else is like a 1-for-1 trade. And they're going to take, what, 7 damage here? They could have Get a Leg Up here as well. But if they don't have Get a Leg Up, we get to get in for 7, and then we have a flyer that can tap something down. And we have lots of good draws. And then if the Inside Source doesn't get blocked, we can use the Inside Source. Oh, it's a Nervous Gardener? Sure. We can use the Inside Source to pump our Granite Witness, right? Because it targets detectives. All right, so they played their own Inside Source. Are they going to crack the clue? What are you going to do with the 2 mana? Oh, call a Surprise Witness. Interesting. Okay. All right, so I definitely want to tap down the Projector Inspector. And then I want to give the Granite Witness, I think, +2/+0. And then we got to figure this out. Well, this has to attack. This is going to get in there. The only problem with this red herring is that it's going to trade with like one of these two creatures. So am I okay trading this with another random 2/2? Like this would trade with, I guess, Inside Source. I do have a lot of go wide spells, so maybe I shouldn't be trying to trade off my creatures if I can help it. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna kill the Inside Source, I think. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna kill Novice Inspector. I'm the one who's like the super aggressive, the aggressor in this matchup right now. I just don't see them utilizing this ability that much. But they are stabilizing. They are stabilizing. So we need to find, like I said, a spell, just like a spell, because it's going to get more and more difficult here to kind of push through damage. Yep, makes sense for them to hold back. They're drawing more cards than we are. I wonder why they want... I guess they want to draw a land? Okay, so that is a Lamplight Phoenix, which is very, very good. I think I want to get this Projector Inspector off the battlefield, so I should attack here. And then I suppose I'm okay trading this Detective for a 3/3 in this instance. So let's attack like that. They have no flyers, and we are jamming Lamplight Phoenix and hoping that they don't have an exile piece of removal here. If they have like a bite spell or anything along those lines, we're fine. And remember, we have Lightning Helix in the deck. So at any given point, we can just top deck Lightning Helix, and that'll be it. Right? Because our opponent's at 2 life. Private Eye, sure. The question is, what do they have for this Lamplight Phoenix? I can also just block, but... like, I'm trying... like, what happens if I block? Oh, cease and desist, I guess? Alright, I guess I'll just take it. I mean, if they had a binding, they would have binding my Phoenix, right? Okay, so they're just dead. I was just like... if they could have exiled my Phoenix or gotten rid of it in some way, they would have. So, all right, let's get in there. Lamplight Phoenix, evasion for the win. But that was close. I mean, our opponent had a good Detectives deck. Like, the hallmark of a good blue-white Detectives deck is, like, how many Private Eyes / Ezrams did you end up with, right? How many Private Eyes do you have? And they have 2. That's big. Okay, 1-0 with our Boros deck. Rank 2. We are on the play. This would be such a good hand if we had a mountain, but we don't, so I'm going to mulligan. And, yeah. Got a mulligan again. Let's keep this. And let's bottom those 2. It is what it is. You know, double mulligans don't happen that often on Arena, so this is pretty unusual with the best of one hand smoother, but we're just turning it into a more realistic experience for everybody. Shocking this now because there's a good chance I draw a face down card here. Or an Inside Source. Alright, well, at the very least, we mulled a 5 and we went shock your creature into Inside Source into Person of Interest. So that's about as good of a mulled a 5 as you can ask for. But still an incredible uphill climb here. Huh. This is interesting. If this feels like it could be a turn where they have a counterspell. I'm actually going to play Neighborhood Guardian here, because by playing Person of Interest next turn, I still get to get in for a lot of damage. If they had a removal spell, I feel like there's a good chance they would have used the removal spell on one of my creatures. It looks like it was an unauthorized exit, but they did take the 2 damage here. It is interesting that they chose to take the damage there. All right, double Person of Interest, great. Now I just need an on the job and I'm good, right? Oh, man. Well, hopefully that extra 2 points of damage that they took is going to be very, very relevant here. All right. So they get a Thopter out of this exchange. So now we want everything to be a 3/3 if possible. Just keep putting pressure on them and hoping for the best. That's all we got. This is an excellent, excellent spot for on the job. Their deck is very good against ours, though. They also have just multiple ways to make a bunch of tokens. Like I said, we are leaning on our double on the job and fuss bother at this point. Another Person of Interest would also be great. All right, they're torching the Guardian, so less good, I suppose. All right, that is an on the job. Something like that. I guess I can attack with Inside Source and just hope they don't have a counter. It felt like they had a counter. All right, whatever. Look, we mull the 5. We can't play around anything. I think they have a counter. Just so you know. Just so you know. Yep. Well, they had the counter there, but their board is still fairly clean. We have a couple of 2/2 still in play. Yeah, man, they have all the Gadget Technicians. Okay. Another trick here would be great. That was not a trick. I'm not going to attack right now. I'm just going to wait to try to draw a combat trick, to be honest. Honestly, I mean, if this was, like, if we just had a normal, if we didn't mull the 5, I think we'd have a really, really good shot here. But but like at the same time, this was a fantastic mull the 5. But our opponent also just has a very, very good Izzet deck. Multiple Gadget Technicians and Torch the Witness, Surveillance Monitor, like that's all going to just be really, really hard to fight through. All right, now I'm going to just attack. Don't be Eliminate. Don't have your last card be Eliminate. Chase is on. Okay, Chase is on is okay. We have plenty of fodder here, which is great. Okay. I mean, they're dealing 6 damage to us with the Technician, so they might be able to outrace us. We might actually need to keep our creature back, depending on what we draw. Oh, yep, that's rough. Bother is very good. You know what? Why don't we get our own bother? Right? It's only fair. They kept both cards on top. Oh my gosh, we did find our own bother. Am I supposed to be keeping the Phoenix back right now? It's possible. Yeah. Maybe I'm supposed to be playing this a little more defensively. I'm going to try to keep my life total fairly high here. Just so close though, right? So close. Oh, this is a Crime Stopper sprite? Alright. Yeah, really solid blue-red deck here from the opponent. No shame in losing in this particular matchup based off of the start that we had. Yep, near the shock. Okay, so yeah, excellent blue-red deck. GG's Kenzo. 1-1. Let's keep it going. Let's no mulligans to 5. That's all I'm gonna say. Just no mulligans to 5. Just reasonable hands to go up against other reasonable hands is all I'm asking for. All right. On the draw, but our hand is okay. We have some removal spells and red herrings. That is our game plan. It is laid out for us. We are going to keep. We're on the draw, so if they have a 2-drop, we can shock their 2-drop. And go from there. The only thing I don't like about this arena interface is just like it gives away when you have like certain spells. So whenever you're playing a red deck and you lead with Mountain, you have to just like full control with the so that it doesn't give away that you have the shock. Just lead with the Consultant for now, see what they do. They might just play a face down card here. Oh, that's so much better. All right. So I kind of want to shock that. So I'm going to. And then we'll just play red herring and get in for 1 damage. The nice thing here, I mean, it depends on kind of what they play, but next turn we can go red herring, lightning helix, I don't know, if they play like an eavesdropper, something along those lines. And then we can we'll still get a trigger here off the Consultant. So once again, our plays are kind of laid out for us. Oh, never mind. Oh, no. Prof's Eidetic Memory is a heck of a card. Especially against these red herrings. Ugh. Yep. I'm just going to crack it. Take 1. Then we'll play the Guardian. Oh, it's one of those everybody has reasonable doubt days. Just everybody's on reasonable doubt. Oh, okay. You know what? Repulsive mutation, if they use it there, that's fine. I mean, I'm sad that my neighborhood guardian died, but oh, Jesus. They're kind of living the dream. Sweet deck. Sweet deck. They might attack us now. Ooh, I am happy about that. I'm just going to play Technician face down here. They have a 2/4 Vitu-Ghazi Inspector, so this red herring is just going to be a 4 mana draw a card effect, more or less. At least we're somewhat keeping this eidetic memory in. Oh my gosh. A third Projector Inspector with Prof's eidetic memory. Just, yeah, the actual dream. Good stuff. I don't know if we have any more removal. They could have Bite Down on Crime here, maybe. I don't know if they want to just kill Consultant, though. Tunnel Tipster. All right. I think we are at the point where we just need to make kind of aggressive attacks here. So I'm going to attack with my face down card, see what they have. I might be able to sneak in damage this turn. Okay, that's great. They just block with the Tunnel Tipster. I am more than happy about that. I'm going to play Red Herring here and crack it to draw a card. Actually, should I do it now? No. I'm going to keep it up now because it can block sack to prevent some damage if necessary. I don't actually have any removal. I think I used both of my removal spells. All right, locks it on Eavesdropper. Yeah, this... Like, their deck is completely fine just as a blue-green deck, but with the Prof's eidetic memory, this has now given 4 +1/+1 counters. That's what we have to fight through. I mean, this is legitimately a bomb if you get Projector Inspector going. And that's what our opponent's been able to accomplish. And I have no idea how I'm supposed to beat this. Like, I don't have a Galvanize, I don't think, so. And a Robobout Maverick. Okay, so they're going to get 2 +1/+1. Woo! This is a spicy, spicy draw from our opponent. I think this is the best Prof's eidetic memory I've seen. Like, I killed both Projector Inspectors, so I thought I was okay. Right? And they played number 3. Well, I'm glad I kept the Red Herring back. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Nope, that's not great. I don't have a good attack this turn. I think it's just Person of Interest face down card. And I don't have a good attack. And we're going to have to... Like, Person of Interest was a good draw, but it's going to take more than that to fight through what they've been able to put together here. I think I'm going to need On the Job. Definitely On the Job. Hey, you've heard me say this before. When opponents do cool things, you still have to appreciate it. And this is really sweet what our opponent's pulling off here. This is a Prof's eidetic memory for 3. This was literally 2 mana enchantment, put like 8 +1/+1 counters on something, draw a card. That's what Prof's eidetic memory was this game. Unbelievable. Like, Sudden Setback is a card I wouldn't play, but everything else looks fine. Like, if they have a bunch of Collect Evidence cards, that's also really nice. I mean, but them attacking like this is an avenue for me to win this game. I'm just taking it all, right? It gives me outs. All right. Maybe something like that. 3, 4, 5, 9. Maybe I keep this back. Let's see how they block. This basically makes it's like the best attack I can make while also having some blockers back is kind of where I'm at with this. Like, this is a pretty decent sized attack. 3, 4, 5, 8, 11. So setting ourselves up for a potential on the job on the following turn if they make a wild attack and they're tapped out and we somehow manage to survive. So even if none of their creatures dies, we can block their 6/5, their 4/4, and their 3/3, and we take 5. But I think this Projector Inspector or Elephant will likely block here. All right, they're at 9, we're at 7. They're at 9, we're at 7. That's another Eavesdropper. Wow, just blue-green all detectives. I love it. I love that our opponent's doing this. At least none of their creatures have vigilance. But I don't know that they're going to make an attack here to leave themselves vulnerable at 9 life. So I think this is still probably the end of the road for us for this game. Wow, they pitched Flourishing Bloomkin. Whew. Yep. So this means that I have to block 2 things. And if I draw... And they can block 2 things. And if I draw on the job, it's still not lethal. Does that do anything? I don't think so. Yeah. Like, I just have to chump block everything next turn. I mean, I'll play it. We'll play it out still, I guess. See what they're working with. Maybe we can do some kind of a double block. But they pitched Flourishing Bloomkin. So whatever they have in hand is better than Flourishing Bloomkin. Just to put things in perspective. So whether that's, Bite Down on Crime or Out Cold or anything like that, whatever that last card that they have in hand is better than Flourishing Bloomkin. It could be a Fanatical Strength. All right, well... They saw the line of attack me with everything. All right, rough start here. 1 and 2. Thankfully, still rank 2. Like I said, I mean, I think our deck is fine. It's really capable of punishing a lot of awkward starts, but our opponent had an extremely great and streamlined blue-green start. And the sheer power level of all the +1/+1 counters is just something that we couldn't overcome. So let's keep it going. 1 and 2. Okay, rough start for this one. I mean, not every draft can go well, right? Not every draft can go well. And this one's certainly not one of them. We need to. This hand's fine, right? We got Red Herring turn 2, Gadget Technician, Fuss Bother on the job. Need to win more die rolls. That's what we need. All right, Market Watch Phantom from the opponent. We're gonna whoa. We're gonna try to match that with this Red Herring. And we do have Fuss Bother on the job, Auspicious Arrival, so lots of good tricks. Not really interested in using my trick here. If they play a oh my. Turn 2 creature, turn 3 Teysa. All right. Quick 1-3 here is my prediction. This is a quick 1-3. I'm not going to lie to you. This is extremely frustrating. Like 10 out of 10 frustrating. Just losing the mana that we are. It's like cheap thing into unbeatable cheap rare. Can't we just play like a normal game where we both play commons and uncommons and see who like can outmaneuver each other with combat tricks and using our mana at the right time? I would love if that's something we could do. I would love it. I wonder what they're splashing green for. All right. All we can do is attack and hope for the best. I don't think they're going to block with Seasoned Consultant. This is an odd block, though. It's just like they're just straight up throwing away a creature. I'll play the Phoenix. I mean, if they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. But we missed a land drop, and we're just not in a position to wait until we get better. We can pick better spots. I just want to make sure that I have the biggest creature I can play every single turn. Because right now they have the ability, they basically have Detective Satchel in play. Right? They have like a clue, you sack it and you make a flyer. I mean, I will trade with Teysa if they attack. Or do I? Do I just block Market Watch Phantom? Yeah, sure. Like, there's no way they're splashing green for a pump spell. Right? I mean, if I can draw a land here and get them low enough. Oh, it's a slice, sure. Well, good thing we didn't block Teysa. All right. Bolrak Clan Basher also kind of gets in, but just with the mana that we have, Person of Interest makes the most sense. And then we do have On the Job and Fuss Bother. Seasoned Consultant, when it attacks, no longer gets +2/+0. So Teysa, I guess, has to attack, which makes it not a great blocker. But like I said, with the 2 clues that they have in play, they can just chump block like almost forever. But if they're not adding to their board, maybe they just can't whittle down my life total and I can just keep playing creatures. That's kind of the hope here. If I draw any land, like if I draw a mountain, I can still cast Fuss plus Auspicious Arrival, which should be very good. And if I draw planes, obviously just casting On the Job might be what I need to do. I mean, all they need to do is just not attack with Teysa. Like, you have 2 clues already, right? Just don't attack with Teysa, and it just makes my life so much more difficult. All right. If I draw a land, aren't they dead? Oh my gosh. What are you doing? Oh, how did Okay, I guess I'll just stop complaining. My bad, folks. I just thought this was going to be a quick 1-3. Our opponent played a 2-drop into Teysa and somehow lost. All right, 2-2. Turn 1 Hedge Whisperer. That's pretty good against Red Herring. Is that blue? Okay, so the blue-green deck. We got handily this. Oh man, just these blue-green decks get me pretty good. Oh, what am I doing? I should have played the second main phase. Derp. I actually just am taking an extra point of damage for no reason. Yeah. Oh, well, they didn't attack me, so it ended up being okay anyways. All right. This Red Herring is just going to continue bouncing off all these creatures. They just ramped. Like 1-drop 0/3, 2-drop 1/3 into ramp, and I'm sure that their late game power is very, very good here. The nice thing about this face down card is just the fact that I can turn it up. And I mean, I don't think they're going to block. Oh, they did block. I mean, I'm going to flip it up. I'll take the free creature. Unfortunately, like it's a really awkward attack because had I played more planes, I guess, I could have been able to play the Seasoned Consultant here. Anyways, I'm going to just crack this Red Herring. And let's get to work. To the skies. And I like Seasoned Consultant and Gadget Technician here. The reason being is my Seasoned Consultant can attack through the Hedge Whisperer, which is nice. And next turn we have both of these creatures are 3-powered attackers, which is really nice. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, they're going to be able to flip this thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I guess it depends on how they attack. I mean, we can't really block. All right, we're racing. We are racing. All right, we'll kill the face down card there. They're blocking with the Hedge Whisperer as well. They're not blocking with the Hedge Whisperer as well. Okay. Face down card. Huh. I think I'm more interested in playing the automaton here than playing Person of Interest, because I just want to make sure that I can sculpt my draw and find a really good threat. Lamplight Phoenix is a really good threat, so we'll keep that. Although this Case of the Trampled Garden plus this 5/5 threatens to end the game pretty quickly. They also have Hedge Whisper. The Lamplight Phoenix is a decent sized blocker. We can chump block the non-tramply 5/5. So for example, this turn, they're going to try to get in for a really big attack. Now they're at 12. We'll see how they attack. So they gave the land a trample. So I'm going to block the 5/5 here. We're at 9. They crack the clue. We get to play a mountain, and let's see. I think they're going to block. And we still have 3 blockers. Okay. So they take 5. And then we play the Phoenix. And then we can make... So it's just a question of how much damage can we take. If they have a combat trick, then we're dead. If not, we can survive, right? Because we can chump block the non-trampling creature with the Lamplight Phoenix. It'll come back in. We make a Thopter, right? And that's 7 damage in the air. So if they don't have any form of interaction, then we have a chance. So, not liking my chances, but we at least have outs. Like if their hand is just a bunch of big ground creatures, we have a shot. And they also have to be careful, because if they don't have a lethal attack themselves, then they may not be able to attack with both their creatures. I mean, as is, it really just makes sense to just attack with one anyways, just because you have the big trample and you don't have lethal, unless you have a combat trick in hand. Curious Inquiry, okay. I'm assuming... I have a feeling I know which one's going to have trample. This is really interesting. I think I can flip this up, because Person of Interest has Menace. So let's say they follow this up with a flying creature. They block Granite Witness, and they still take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So I'm going to try to minimize taking damage here, okay? And by that, I'm going to put a Thopter in front of the 5/5 and block this with the Lamplight Phoenix, because I can get it back. And this even plays around a removal spell. If they have Fanatical Strength, we're okay. This is also okay. We go to 1. Oh my gosh, that block was so big. The fact that we block like that might actually allow us to win this game. Right? Oh my gosh! These are some crazy games! Wow! How close was that one? Offense and defense, managing our life, and somehow from 1-2 to 3-2. Okay, and hey, look, it's kind of my thing, right? Drafting average-looking decks and somehow finding ways to win. I'll take it. I will take that win. All right, opponent on the play. Our hand is pretty mediocre. I mean, we have a 2-drop and a 3-drop, but no planes with this on the job. Sanitation Automaton does help smooth out our draws, but like if I draw, no, I'm just gonna mulligan that. Ugh. All right, well, I'll just put Red Herring on the bottom, I guess. I just didn't think that hand was good enough. If I had some plains and mountains, I would have kept it, but just given how that hand looked, this hand definitely a lot better. Seasoned Consultant into Inside Source plus Shock, Auspicious Arrival, and Fuss Bother. So we have the combat tricks available. All right, I'm not going to use a combat trick there. I'd rather play Inside Source here. That way, next turn, we get to make a really good attack here with both Fuss Bother and Auspicious Arrival as combat tricks. Oh, it looks like they're going to go with the Makeshift Binding here. This makes things less exciting. I'm going to just attack with this. Sure. And then I'll just play Technician. I wonder if they're going to play a Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. Land would have been really good for us. Mountain, I would love. Gravestone Strider, okay. I'm just attacking with both. I don't mind getting this Gravestone Strider off the battlefield, to be honest. So I'm gonna use Auspicious Arrival on my Inside Source to kill that, and I'm gonna flip over my Gadget Technician. So clear board. Like they're still at a high life total, obviously, but we still have access to Fuss Bother if they play like a 2/2. We have Lightning Helix and Shock if they play smaller things. Keep putting pressure while keeping the board clear is kind of what I'm trying to do. Call a Surprise Witness. All right. And it looks like a Bite Down on Crime. No, a Slice from the Shadows. Okay. Creature here would be nice. I think at this point I probably just want to save till I can bother. I'm probably going to shock this, but I'll crack my clue first, see what I find. Yeah, let's go ahead and just shock this and attack for 4. Yeah, and we drew the land there, so almost for sure going to go for Bother. Hopefully we can cast Bother, Surveil, and find On the Job. That would be ideal. Just like tap out and play a Chalk Outline. Actually, no, I don't want you to play Chalk Outline. That would be pretty bad. Yep, that's pretty good. They got the Gadget Technician. So they are doing a good job of stabilizing here. Another land number 7, not ideal for us. But Bother should be quite good. And this is why this card has such a high win rate, by the way. I'm not saying I'm going to win this game, but just the fact that early on, it's incredible. And look, we just put 2 lands into the graveyard, which is great. We would have drawn 2 lands. That's 9 mana sources, and now we have all of this available, right? So our opponent considering exile something with Gravestone Strider, but honestly, red-white just doesn't have that much where it matters. All right, so let's go ahead and just kill this Teysa right away. Lightning Helix, let's do it. Attack. And then Bulrak Clan Basher. Okay. Our opponent's on 4 lands, all spells, by the way. Holy cow! That's... Man. Tolsimir as well? Teysa and Tolsimir. Ay, ay, ay. Now they have a big lifelinker in play. Man, that's like the best possible card they could have played. It looks like they're just straight 3 colors, right? Or they could be yeah, they're straight 3 colors. They're green white. They're just Ebzan. Well, hopefully, I mean the thing is they still have action because they were missing land drops. So we just have to power through everything. Now the 2/2 can get in front of Tolsimir. Definitely interested in doing that. Found another land. So would have drawn 10 lands this game. We got to Surveil too. On the Job off the top would have just been game. And now they have Case of the Locked Hothouse that's going to flip. Oh my. Oh my. Ah, man. We needed an on the job there. Man, this is brutal. All right, they're at 1. They are at 1. Okay. Tolsimir gets them up to 4. They need to, I'm just hoping they hit a spell. Spell on top. Spell on top. Nope, it's a land. It's another land. 3 lands in a row then. Nope, it's Wisp Drinker Vampire. Like, this is just land, Wisp Drinker Vampire. Okay. Please, just be another land. Do I have Shock left in my deck? I think I used Shock in Lightning Helix. So, the top of their deck was land, Wisp Drinker Vampire into Inside Source. Great. And to get a leg up? Sure. Auspicious Arrival. Okay. Okay. I wonder if this is good enough. They block 3 things. I think it is. He can't keep getting away with it. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 3, 6. Yup. Oh my gosh. This is unreal. This is unreal. Okay. How many more busted decks will we beat on the way to rank 1? How many busted decks do we need to beat? They went turn 3 Teysa, turn 5 Tolsimir, flipped Case of the Locked Hothouse, played 4 permanents off of it, and we top decked on the very last possible turn the on the job to get it done. This is a great on the job deck too, so. Okay. Had a lot of very mediocre. I'm going to keep this one because I have Shock and I can Gadget Technician plus Person of Interest and I'm on the draw. We've had a lot of mediocre openers with this deck. And, you know, I'm just going to keep some of them. It's fine. It is what it is. We still have time though. I kept this hand. We can draw some lands here. Automaton. Nope. All right. 2 mountains on the draw with a Shock, Gadget Technician, a Person of Interest. I'm keeping that every time. And, yeah. This happens. Like, if I just draw 1 land, I can play the Technician. Then I can flip it up. Obviously, if I draw Plains, that's also great. I have lots of 2-drops I can draw too. I can draw removal spells. But I'm just not going to continue playing this one. You know, look. That happens. That happens. At least it was just quick and painless. We kept the 2-lander on the draw. You don't draw land number 3 for 4 draw steps, which happens 1 in every 10 games or whatever, and you lose. It's okay. I just did not want to mulligan that hand on the draw. On the play, maybe. I'm not sure. But on the draw, I think it's fine. But ultimately, we ran into some powerhouse decks in this draft. I thought our deck was fine. Our deck was definitely fine. We had a couple of removal spells, some decent tricks. We had some go wide cards. We had the Inside Source, triple Person of Interest. Lamplight Phoenix is a really great creature. Solid curve. We ended up going 4 and 3. And honestly, going into it, I guess maybe that's about the expected result with this deck. This wasn't a spectacular deck. 4-3, 4 or 5 wins is kind of what I would have expected here. But given the way that we lost our first few games against some really powerful decks, I'm pretty happy with the 4-3 result. But that's not going to get us to rank 1. 4 and 3 maybe breaks us even, or makes us even down a little bit on Elo. So we have to keep fighting the good fight as we try to hit rank 1 before the ladder resets and nobody cares about this format anymore and OTJ comes out. So I'm keeping an eye out on all the OTJ stuff. Very, very soon, I should be looking to start doing set reviews. I'm basically going to do a color a day. And I'll be releasing those kind of the week before the actual pre-release. so that all of you who are watching can get set up and get ready for, of course, OTJ, because the set looks exciting. It's a Dave Humphries set. Dave Humphries, I've just really enjoyed interacting with him. He was a former coworker of mine. He still works there. I don't. He just, in my opinion, makes the best limited sets. So I'm really excited for OTJ and what's to come from there. But this is it for us for today. If you've enjoyed this content, I did launch my Patreon channel. Shout out to all the current patrons. Thank you so much for your support. The link is in the description below. It'll get you access to Discords, early access videos, and of course, a Patreon-only special video that I make once a month for the patrons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.